Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Professor Dr. Rizwan Jamil Qureshi. Welcome to the lecture number 10 of System Analysis and Design course. I am starting chapter number 6 and title of the chapter is Determining System Requirements. So that means we are going to cover the possible requirement gathering techniques. How many type of techniques we have to gather the requirements? That is the question comes to our mind when we talk about requirements gathering. Anything? Okay. We have two types of requirement gathering techniques. We have traditional and modern. Traditional, most of the people know about it. What are the traditional requirement gathering techniques? Yes, no, any answer? No? Okay. We have 5 types of traditional requirement gathering techniques. I gave you hint. Now, okay, we have interview, group interview, questionnaire or survey. Number 4, observation. And number 5, studying existing system documents or documentation. So these are the 5 requirement gathering techniques we have. The traditional. Then modern, there are 3 types of modern techniques: prototype, JAD, and GSS. Prototype, most of the students know about it. Then you have JAD, J for Jin, A for apple, D for donkey or hamar. So Jin and donkey are fighting for the apple? No. It's joint application design. And the third one is GSS, the modern one. G for gun, S for Superman, and last S for Spider-Man. So Superman and Spider-Man are fighting for a gun. That I will take this gun, I will take this gun. No. It's a group support system. Before I will go in detail about traditional techniques, so there are 5 traditional and there are 3 modern. So that means 8 techniques are there. From the traditional, I will begin interview. So in the interview, we have formal interview and we have informal interview. There are 2 ways to conduct interviews. The formal means it's a planned interview, and we have pre-interview activities, during interview activities, and post-interview activities. Pre-interview activities. What are the pre-interview activities? Pre-interview activities mean we should have to list down, short list the names of people we are going to take interview. For example, how many levels of management we have at the customer side? There are 3 levels: top management, middle management, and lower management. So from the top management, the president, vice presidents, we shortlist the names. From the middle management, the middle level managers, we shortlist the names. And the lower management or operational management, we also shortlist the names. According to the level of management, we will prepare questions regarding the system. Then we have to inform the agenda before the meeting, and you need to take appointment from that guy you are going to conduct interview. And your questions should be ready before the interview. Then during the interview, you don't have time to note down all answers. So what you do, you can record if the other guy will permit you, but most of the times they don't permit you, they don't allow you. Then we can take short notes, and we have to note down the facial expressions of the other guy, and while he's answering, eye to eye contact, the color of his face is changing or not, his ears are changing the color or not, his body language, that he's telling lie or he's providing the correct information, true information. If you are not clear, you can rephrase your question another way if the other guy doesn't answer you directly. Then post-interview activities, you make detailed notes within 48 hours, because after that your memory will fade. So these are planned interview activities. And then you have unplanned, which is normally we don't apply, that we just take appointment and we just ask questions, random questions, and without the appointment we ask random questions. Sometime any guy from top management you find, you will start asking the questions. Then the middle management, if you find any guy, you will ask random questions, and from lower management you also apply the same. So this is about the interview. Then we have group interview. In most of the cases, customers have multiple sites. So it is not possible that you travel to all those sites to take interviews. So you invite some key people from top management, middle management, and lower management using video conferencing or any chat technique. And then during the video conference link or Skype session or whatever the session you have, team viewer session, you apply the normal questions like during the individual questions, now you put in the group. But it is not an effective technique. Then you have questionnaire or survey. So there are some pros and cons of interview, and there are some pros and cons of questionnaire or survey. In interview, we cannot cover most of the people. We can cover selective people, but in survey or questionnaire, you can collect, you can gather information from majority of the users from the customer side. Now there are two ways again, like interview, we have open-ended questionnaires and we have close-ended questionnaires. Open-ended questionnaires are not good because you provide a space after each question, and the other guy, the participant, can fill any answer. But in close-ended, you have like multiple choice, 1 to 5 or 1 to 7. We have Likert scale, 1 to 5 for small number of users. If you have more than 10,000, like 50,000, 100,000, you can use 1 to 7. So 1 mean very low, low, 2, 3 nominal, 4 high, 5 very high. Or you can use vice versa, 5, 1, 4 low, and 3 nominal, 4 high, 2 high, and 1 very high. So it's up to you. What Likert scale you use, 1 to 5 is commonly used. Then you distribute the questionnaire at the customer side and you ask them when I can collect. In my experience, when I was doing my PhD and I was visiting software companies, it's not effective technique if you gave them questionnaires and you ask them, I will collect after 1 week or you can use online questionnaires. That is another way. So if you have to physically go to the customer users and you have to ask them to fill the information in front of you, because if they have some ambiguity, they can ask you that what is the meaning of this question, and you can explain. So that is one of the possible way to gather requirements. Then fourth is observation. That is randomly and rarely practiced, that you just visit the customer side and you don't ask question, just observe how the existing system is working, what is the flow of information, what type of users you have. So that's not an effective technique until you apply unplanned interview with observation. And study existing system documentation that you have. You ask the customer to provide you documentation of the existing system, and you try to collect information about the requirements from the documentation. And it is also not a good practice. So most of the time, the plan interview and questionnaire, it is most commonly applied techniques from the traditional requirements gathering techniques. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.